Well, good afternoon, and it's such a pleasure to be with my audience, the audience that we have. And I'm James Wheeler, and one of my heart's desires is to teach everyone just the financial concepts of how money works. Over the last 12 and a half years, one of the things I find is if you understand how money works, then no matter who you meet with, you will always know if that person has your best interest at heart because you'll understand how money works. And I think that's one of the most important things for us to understand so we can have a good financial plan, something that applies to our own personal needs, our own goals, our own dreams. Over the last 12 and a half years, I've met with many families, and here's one thing that I found. There's a lot of people who have similar goals and dreams, but no one has the exact same goals and dreams. We all have our different situations. So one of the things I want to do is teach about how money works. This is going to be the first series of a mini upcoming series that I hope you enjoy and appreciate. The first one's going to have to do with Rule of 72. And Rule of 72 basically talks about how your money grows. It's the compounding of the interest. And so Albert Einstein said, this is the eighth wonder of the world. It's not my financial concept. I was never this smart. But I want to kind of draw it out for you so you can understand how does your money grow. And so Rule of 72. And part of my back, I'm going to try my best to do this. So Rule of 72. And you're going to find I have amazing writing. And we're going to pretend for just a moment that not only I have great writing, but that you bank with the Bank of James. In today's purpose, I'm going to use different numbers that are close, but I like simple math. And so we all know the average interest rate that a bank pays in your savings account is less than 1%, but let us just pretend for today, for illustration purposes, that the bank's paying you 1%. And so Rule of 72 says, if you take an interest rate, divide it into 72, it tells you how long it takes your money to double. In this case, if you're making 1% on your money, it takes 72 years for your money to double. So what does that look like? Well, if I have $10,000, that means over the course of 72 years, it becomes $20,000. And I don't know about you, but let's say if you're the average of 40-year-old person, right? Average age in the United States, let's make it 42 years old. And let's say you're going to wait 72 years. And all of a sudden, that's 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. At 114 years old, you're going to call me up and you're going to go, Wheeler, let's party. My $10,000 became $20,000. And I'm not saying that in a mocking way, but rather let's wake up to the reality that trying to grow your wealth in a bank may not be the best way. So interest rate has a lot of impact on how your money grows. So over the last approximate 10 years, the average rate of return for all the financial markets has been about 9%, give or take. You're going to find I'm an easy math guy. I just want you to grab the concepts today. And so if it's supposed to be 9 3/4, we're going to call it 10% just for easy math, all right? And so does that change the whole equation? Well, let's try it. So if we're having 10% into 72, let's just call it 7.2, or if I can say 7 years. So every 7 years your money doubles. So what does that mean? If I take the same 10, that becomes 20, that becomes 40, that becomes 80, that becomes 160, that becomes 320, that becomes 640. So the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 7 over 42 years, your $10,000 becomes $640,000 in the course of 42 years. And so for me, that is the best way to grow your money, is capturing a great rate of return. So one of the other things that we'll talk about is, so where can you capture that kind of growth? And there we go. So where can you capture that kind of growth? I'm sure all of you at one time in your life played this wonderful game, It was called tic-tac-toe. And so one of the concepts that we introduced is saving your money smartly here is on the seventh day, God created this. That's why he rested, right? Well, let's find out. So where do most people put their money? Well, I'm going to help you out. Let's just say in the bank savings. And how do most people feel when they put it there? Well, they feel pretty safe. And what do I mean by that? If you go down to the bank, say Monday morning, you give them $100, you go back Tuesday, it's virtually a 100% guarantee with full confidence that the next day your money is going to be there. So we put money there because we feel safe. But if there's any downside to this, what would that be? Well, we're going to call that ROR, rate of return. And so the rate of return, right, it's not real appealing. If you remember, it's not just at 1%, it's less than 1%. So the other thing that I say is, well, if you think about growing your money, growing it big, what comes to mind? And so we talk about the market. So whether you're talking about mutual funds, 401ks, 403bs, 457s, IRAs, that whole group of money, we'll call that the marketplace. What people feel though, and the reason why most people don't do this, is it's risky. But why are people willing to take the risk? And it has to do with the growth, right? So again, it's that rate of return. It go up, but we just never know how much it goes up. But we're hoping to capture all that growth. But it is highly risky. So what I want to teach you about is what if you could capture those amazing gains of the market, be 100% safe and never lose not one penny of your money ever. Well, that is why God was able to rest on the seventh day, because he invented indexed accounts. And so we're going to go into some of those details on one of the upcoming videos in the impact of losses. But what I'm hoping to help you understand is it's tic-tac-toe 3 in a row. You can have the best of both worlds, where your money can be 100% safe, capture all the gains in the market, and in our next segments up and coming, we're going to talk about those indexed accounts. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you find this to be very helpful. If you have any additional questions, you know where to click the subscribe button, send me a message on Facebook, and I'll gladly answer those questions more deeply. Thank you so much for watching.